So the Ansible frameworks for converged infrastructure configuration is broken down into various steps. The first step is to physically connect all the various devices together. Then second step is someone needs to go in and perform the initial device configuration, including assigning management IP addresses to these devices so that Ansible can access these devices for future configurations. Depending on a customer environment, various variable values need to be updated. For example, the MAC addresses and the IP address pools, etc. Once the initial pre-configuration steps are performed, script gets executed to set up the Ethernet connectivity. So the script goes in and configures the Nexus devices with the VLANs which the customers have chosen. It goes into the UCS and configures the VLANs as well as various port configuration. Once the script completes, customers need to log in and verify the connectivity. And if things look good, the second script is executed, which sets up the UCS, various service profiles, service profile templates, various policies, SAN policies if you so choose. And once this configuration is complete, customers have to go in and capture the WWPNs or the iSCSI IQN values, configure the NetApp devices or storage devices, and then execute another script to set up the MDS. And the reason we are setting up MDS after setting up the UCS is because for zoning purposes, we need the WWPN values from the UCS as well as from the NetApp. Once MDS is configured, customers can verify the fiber channel connectivity, make sure that the boot LANs are accessible when we boot the service profiles. And at that time, customers also need to log into the ESXi servers, make sure the management IP addresses are assigned and accessible from the Ansible Linux virtual machine. And the last step would be to run the script to configure both the ESXi hosts as well as the VMware vCenter environment. Going back to the physical connectivity for our setup, so we have two Nexus switches which are connected to the both the NetApp as well as UCS Fabric interconnects. Various interfaces and the link speeds are shown in this physical setup diagram. The fiber channel switches are shown at the bottom. They connect to both the NetApp as well as the UCS for fiber channel boot. If the customer only has iSCSI boot, then the fiber channel switches as well as the connectivity is not required. Once this physical connectivity is built, all these various interfaces which we have used, they will be populated into several of the variable files. I mean, if you follow this physical connectivity as is, then these values are pre-populated into the Ansible playbooks as well as the inventory files. If you choose to use different ports or ports which are not the same as the ones shown over here, you would have to go in and modify some of these variables, which is pretty easy. All the variables are very well defined, well labeled.